defect is that we need to see defects, some defect related terminologies we should understand. Let me show you that. Okay, here is the one. So what is a defect? So defect is a, as I mentioned in initial classes, the deviation from expected and actual result is called a defect. And so when you are testing the application, you can find more defects when there is a mismatch between expected and application behavior. So each deviation you will convert into a defect. So defects can be raised in, so different tools are there. Jira tool, ALM tool, Rally, issue tracker. So there are so many tools are available. So you can use any one tool, but all tools are this, the fields are common. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. The way I have written, same way you have to write. So description is a very, very important. Understanding the steps to reproduce. It's a very, very critical. If they are not able to understand, you cannot ask them, right, to fix it. They should understand. So you have to know again, if they are not clear, you have to set up a meeting and immediately and show them. So explain the bug. So that's the way, so in the companies it will work out. So there are a different type of bugs will be there. Functionality bugs, data issues, and UI bugs. So different type of bugs are there. Functionality means functionality is not working. Just now we have seen, right? Reset link should send, but it's not sending. That's a functional bug. So UI bug means some consistency or text overlapping. Such kind of issues are called UI issues. So user interface issues. So data correction, data issues, some data, so that is not correct. So when you do some calculations, calculations also mismatch. That is also one bug. So any calculations is wrong and anything, that is also a functional bug, but data related. So these are the different type of bugs will be there. And we need to understand here, see that a usability defect that results in user dissatisfaction. UI bug, usability defect means a UI bug. So very, maybe it is looking odd. There is no harm, but it looks odd in the pages. So that's why he will dissatisfy with the look and feel. So you will just basically look and feel, you will check spelling mistakes, alignment is correct or not, consistency proper or not, error message consistency proper or not, the grammatical mistakes are there or not, you will check in the usability perspective. That's what we discussed already. Again, I'm repeating such kind of test cases one more time. So what are those? Look and feel, spelling mistakes are there or not, logo alignment or any elements alignment is proper or not, you can check. So any elements are overlapping each other. Maybe text is overlapping each other. One text overlaps another element. So such kind of issues are all usability defects. So a defect that causes slow response time when running reports. This is the performance issue. But this will not harm users unless the report is very critical, like, in the operation theater in the hospitals. So you're doing some doctor is doing operation or surgery, and that report is important. If that is not coming up immediately, that's a problem. That's a critical issue. So if it is not that critical, maybe you cannot give a high priority bug. A defect that causes a raw sewage to be dumped into ocean. This is a very critical issue, because this will harm the users. So when you dump the raw sewage into the ocean, that will water will change into a different thing, and it will be harm for the users, human health. So that's why it's a very critical and so serious issue. A regression defect that causes the desktop window to display in green. This also not harm the user, but he cannot access the desktop, but it will annoy that user. So that's the kind of different issues and what is their severity and priority. But there are some technical terms we should understand them. Different defect definitions are there. Let's understand one by one. Latent defect. So latent defect means so a defect which is there in the system from a long time, but nobody found that. There are many reasons why we couldn't catch that bug. Maybe certain data is not present in the testing environment, or that situation hasn't occurred in the testing environment when you are testing time. All these reasons, so this defect is missing. But it is detected in some point of time. So latent defect is a defect which has been there in the system for a long time, but discovered now. That is called latent defect. As I mentioned, one of the reasons for the latent defect is the exact test conditions not met in the testing environment. That's the reason. Yeah, any questions? Somebody trying to ask questions? No questions, or you have any questions?
Means in the second iteration, second scrum or third scrum, we find that the defect, that kind of defects are called latent defects. Like
not scrum. Scrum is it's a methodology. It's a when your execution time. Okay, you are talking. Maybe you didn't find in the first sprint.
First iteration, yeah.
First sprint. You have to talk sprint.
Sprint, yeah.
Maybe you found in the third sprint or fourth sprint, but you miss it. So when you are testing time, okay. After some time you found it. That's a latent defect. So let me give you another best example for this. So February has 28 days. System could not have considered the leap year, which results in the latent defect. So generally leap year, the February month, how many days will be there? How many days will be there in the February month?
28. 29.
So 29 days will be there in leap year. This year is a leap year, okay? But in the system, it is showing only 28 days. Is this a bug or not?
It is a bug.
It is a bug, right? So until if you test with a leap year, you cannot catch the bug. Am I right or not? If leap year comes, you can catch the bug. For example, in 2023, you are there. 2023 is not a leap year. You want to test that. So such kind of bugs are called latent defect, but you should be having a fair idea on that. Okay, leap year, this many days will be there. You should know that. Normal days it is, but your system is showing 28 days only for all years. That's the issue, main issue. So this is the latent defect means. Okay, clear or any doubts? Are you happy with this issue, the example that I have given? Okay, you're not, so you have to be interactive. If you're silent, you cannot get it.
Maybe the project moved to the prod also after some days also if you find
Yeah,
such kind of
anytime,
yeah.
anytime. You're finding now. You missed it in all your testing, you can find anywhere. It is there in all the environments. It doesn't matter production or wherever it is. Okay, clear?
Yeah, such kind of
Yes.
defects will be again reported to the dev team even
Yeah,
of
you have to report. You have to report. Bug is there, you have to report every time. So you have to report in the Jira tool. Then it will go to the developer automatically. Okay. Next, masked defect. What is meant by masking?
Covered.
yeah.
Hide, right? You're hiding. So masking defect also same. Hides the other defect. One defect hides the other defect. Because of one defect, you cannot test, you cannot find out other defect. Other defect, there is other defect also in the other submodules, but you cannot catch that because first main defect itself, so not able to test it because of this issue. So that's the mask defect means. So hides the other defect which is not detected at a given point of time. It means there is an existing defect that is not caused for reproducing another defect. Suppose, so mask defect hides other defect in the application. Example, this is the best example. You can explain this same example, or you can think same scenario in your application also and tell that. They will ask, give me an example for mask defect in your application. You can think similar way. So there is a link to add employee in the application. On clicking on the add employee link, so once you add the employee, there is an option add a task to that employee. Let's assume add task as a bug, add employee as a bug, both has a bugs. Now, first bug is add employee goes unnoticed. So you encountered a add employee bug. Because of this, you cannot find the bug in the add task. Add task is working or not, you cannot test, right? Like our test case, like, first reset link itself is not there. So these two are unnoticed. So we don't know where this is a reset is working or not, right? These two you cannot confirm now. So these are the unnoticed because of this bug. So this hiding. So there are bugs. There might be bugs here also. This is hiding because of this bug. That is called mask defect. Okay, which defect is masking here in this scenario? What is the primary bug here?
Add employee.
Add employee is the primary bug. So what is hiding? So add employee is hiding add task bug. Are you guys catching or still any doubts?
Yeah.
So that is called a mask defect means. So failing to test the subsystem. So main module has a bug. Because of the main module bug, you are not able to test the inner module bug, a sub-module bug. That is called mask defect. So what is a defect leakage? So defect leakage means, so it's meaning leak, right? It is leaking. So defect which are unable to find the bugs in your testing on your QA environment or UAT environment, but found in the production environment. That is called defect leakage. So you are not able to find the defects in your testing environments or UAT environments, but the customer found them in the production environment. That means you missed them. So that is called defect leakage. So how you can calculate the defect leakage? This is the exam question, this one. ISTQB exam question, this one. So number of defects slipped divided by number of defects received minus number of defects withdrawn, multiply by. So 100 if you do, you will get the defect leakage. So this is the example. There are in the production, customer raises 21 issues. Customer found 21 issues. That means you missed 21. During your testing, you raised 267 issues. You raised a very lot of issues, but there were 17 invalid defects. What is meant by invalid defects? Why they will mark it as invalid? Developer will mark this as invalid bug. Why?
Maybe they might not need for the met the requirement, or it is not designed in the requirement.
That is not a defect. You raised a defect by your misunderstanding of the requirements, maybe some environmental issues or some wrong data issues. All this they will treat it as an invalid defect. So once the developer accepts only, that's a valid defect. If developer is not accepting, and it's not a valid defect. So that such kind of 17 invalid defects are there. So now apply this formula for this scenario. Now see that. So number of defects slipped means this one, 21 issues. You didn't find, customer found them. That means you missed, right? So 21 divided by total defects you raised 267. So 267 total number of defects received, 267 minus number of defects withdrawn. Withdrawn means not valid. So 17 multiplied by 100 if you do, 84% is the defect leakage. So this is the formula, you need to remember this. So what is a defect density? So defect density is the number of defects found are valid in particular module or application during a particular period of time. So that is called defect density. And you can divide the total defect count by the size of the application. The size of the application. Size of the application, how you can measure? So people will measure in the KLOC. 1000 lines of code is called 1 KLOC. So based on that, it will be calculated. So total defects divided by size of the application. So that is the defect density means. So what is a defect age? The time gap between the date of detection and the date of closure of a defect is termed as a defect is. What is a showstopper bug? A defect that doesn't permit testing to continue further. That means if there is a blocker or a showstopper bug, you cannot execute the further test cases. That is blocking. Like, this. So when you enter this, you're getting a page not found error. That's a blocker. So that is a showstopper or blocker bug, we call that. So who can report the defects? Anybody. Developers, testers, business people, customers, end users, anybody can report the defects. So there is not necessary only QA or a testing team has to report the defects. Okay, so that's all about this defects, and next class we'll see maybe another 2 classes. So 2 classes after, so manual testing will be over. Monday, Tuesday, it will be over. Wednesday, we are going to start maybe mostly Monday it will finish. And Tuesday, we are going to start because Tuesday also I'll discuss more on this test cases writing. So you're struggling on test case writing, right? I'll explain that also. Okay.